Okay, we're trying to make something that people love.
You are watching Megan Smith in 1993 describing the first smartphone, a product that she and her team were creating in a startup called General Magic, as they said, to make something that people would love.
You know, 3 wishes. Here you go. What are your 3 wishes? Well, I want to be able to see all around the world. Granted. I want to be able to talk to anyone I want to and find out the answer without running into their answering machine or bothering them and always getting through. Granted. I want to be able to learn more. I want to be able to see more. I want to be able to do more. Granted. Here it is in the palm of your hand.
In order to make something that people love, we have to look at what are they going to see and feel and hear. And so what this cabinet is about is, well, the hardware team was off doing things like making what the innards of this stuff is going to be like. We were here looking at what is it going to feel like, what's it going to look like. Now this is a huge, ugly thing, but we had to start somewhere. We had to start with components that we could buy off the shelf because you're working from... You're working from wishes and ideas of how you wish it would be, and real components that you can buy that are cheap enough that you can make the product reasonable so people can afford it, because if it costs $1 million, forget it.
Back then, I worked for the company, General Magic. It was a very famous startup in Silicon Valley with a lot of money and a lot of belief that the vision they had for a personal communicator.
Personal wireless communicators will soon enable people to stay in touch wherever they are.
That you could carry with you, that was your ally, your assistant, your helper, your friend, your way to communicate, to receive messages, etc., was a reality, and it was going to be them who built it. And remember, this was 13 years before the iPhone was introduced.
And this is the touchscreen, this piece right here that lays on top. And it's like a mouse, only it lays right on top. And so you use it so you can, we want people to feel the software, to experience the software. And so they should be able to directly touch things that they can see on the monitor or the LCD below.
One of Megan Smith's jobs as a hardware engineer was to figure out a touchscreen. And this had to be a complicated screen because there was a lot of things that this General Magic was going to do.
We couldn't find a touchscreen to solve this problem. In fact, at one point we had to invent one. This Wendell, who works for Wendell Center, he came up with this idea of a touchscreen that would be balanced at 4 points, and as you pushed on it, you could sense touch.
In order for General Magic to succeed, the screen had to be really good because there was all kinds of things going on, little spinning things, mail, noises. It was a very complicated system that needed that level of screen.
Welcome to the first public demonstration of General Magic's technologies. We've been laboring behind this closed curtain for so long, we're just dying to show you. Here it is, world, Magic Hat.
Since 1990, a small startup company called General Magic has been working to realize a vision of enabling technologies that will help people make the most of the emerging electronic highway and marketplace. They came together because they believe that everyone should have easy access to their own electronic community, a community of family, friends, colleagues, of news, information, entertainment, of shops, financial services, travel agencies.
I'll go here and recruit a little robot agent. He's kind of idle, he just paces the floor, but when I tap on him, he opens up, and he's describing himself as an agent that knows how to search the network for name cards. And so let's see what he's going to ask me. Well, he wants to know what to search for. I'm going to pick dentist, because I've been talking so much that my teeth are beginning to hurt here. I'll say, where should I send him? So I'll send this over to Bill's machine now. So let's go. And so what the agent will do is make a postcard, jump on it. He goes to sleep on the card for traveling through the network. And now, as you can see, it's about to be sent to Bill.
I'd come to General Magic from New York City. I was an East Coast guy. I didn't know words like grok. I'd never heard something like form factor or easy to use. And I'd gotten my first computer, and You remember what that first computer from Microsoft 1990s did? When you made a mistake, it said, "You have committed a fatal error." Only an engineer could write such language. I really believed at first. What did I do? I did something. Unbelievable misconnect between the engineering mind and the us mind. And General Magic was trying to cross that chasm.
This is Apple Computer's fantasy of what the future holds. An all-in-one computer, communications, and entertainment device called the Knowledge Navigator.
Your friend Jill Gilbert has published an article about deforestation in the Amazon and its effects on rainfall in the sub-Sahara.
Contact Jill.
I'm sorry, she's not available right now. I left a message that you had called.
The Knowledge Navigator does not exist yet. This fantasy demonstration was made in 1988, about the time several of Apple's top engineers were joining together in a new company.
We wanted to find something that people would say, this is so useful to me. It's so nice. It's such a nice part of my life that I'm willing to bathe myself in this environment and participate.
Right now, if you're really wired, you've got a messaging pager, a battery-powered cell phone, maybe a fax machine that you can operate out of your car, and of course a battery-powered laptop computer. Well, the promise of personal intelligent communication is that in the future, all of these functions will be wrapped up into one small box. Maybe not a box this small to start with, but certainly something small enough that you can take with you at home and in the office. General Magic hopes the devices will be in common use by the time these children are in college.
This is a very personal product, so we need people to love it. We need it to be like your watch. You know, Bill's like saying your watch, your glasses, your wallet, something that you like the color, you like the way it feels. And so whether the experience is just the physical part of holding it, or whether the experience is when the software is running and when you've got the machine on, the sound that you're hearing, or the feeling of the touch, or the way that the touchscreen, the LCD looks, and we have to think about all those parts. We want your mom, you know, your grandma, your dad, your uncle, real people who have real things that they want to do to have a great time with this product.
Megan Smith was a unique person to me in a way because she was so positive in everything. High energy, vision, dream, believing that all people would work together to create things, that everything was good. That was Megan Smith. That was not all of the engineers, but there also was this engineering mind that I did not understand. Somebody once told me that 7 engineers working on a project is the most that there can be, because you have more, they can't communicate to each other what's in their head, which is never fully put on the page or in the code. And they write in these strange languages, and they create not code, but your world, but a map, but a movie. It's just amazing how digital systems work. Megan Smith taught me all of that. And she taught me that when the engineers get together, they're in a kind of a sandbox. They're not enemies. They're like children playing together and laughing about things and imagining things. It's a wonderful place to be. And if I had seen what I saw in General Magic and learned what I learned from Megan Smith, I might not have been a filmmaker, because there's something so wonderful about the creation of things out of a language that then appear real and that then people use and love.
One of the difficulties is to present a lot of information to somebody, to give them enough screen area so that they can do things. They can write notes, or they can send messages, see cool graphics, or eventually, run video across the thing. So we're starting with a screen size that's probably about that big. Someday, Dick Tracy wristwatch, but
the watch, the kind of Flash Gordon dream from my era, that you would someday wear a watch that you could click on, and you could take your pulse, you could leave messages. What a dream.
Even Dick Tracy might trade his watch in for one of these little gadgets you'll see.
General Magic didn't succeed. It failed. That's a whole movie which was created by one of my colleagues called General Magic the Movie. You can watch it and really get the story. But its people created things like the iPhone and the iPad, eBay, and all kinds of other stuff, the people who worked there. So I want to thank Megan Smith for doing all of those great videos with me and all the other folks at General Magic. And I want to suggest to you that this little gadget is a result of generations of wonderful, original, creative thinking. I know that some of you have problems with social media. I do too. But the fact is, these things are so wonderful in my lifetime to go from a phone on the wall in my kitchen and in my lifetime, a thing you could push on the television and the television changed, to this. Fantastic. It's David Hoffman, independent documentary filmmaker. Bird by my side, thanking you.